Kadosh Boker Or, Bekiim Bahalacha 2, day 20, page 71, Halacha Samechei. Sometimes a person arrives late, right, to the synagogue in the morning. Sure, nobody does this in the world, right? But just in case, we have to write down the halacha. So he says, sometimes a person arrives late in the synagogue, right, in the morning, and he realizes that he'll have to skip some of the prayers, right, in order to recite the Amidah together with the congregation. Oh, listen, they're tired, they just slept 20 minutes, whatever. So he comes and he says like this. He calculates, he has time to recite all the passages from Arush Shaman until Amidah, and he still has some time left over. In this case, he should begin by reciting the morning blessings that precede Shachrit. He can then skip until the paragraph beginning with the Leficha Chanachu Chayvim Lodot and recite the paragraphs and the Shema Yisrael that follows it. After that, you should say the passages of Korbanot in the Ketoret until Rabbi and Shimon Gamliel. After that, he could skip until the prayer of Ana V'Chuach and Ribono Shel Olam, and until the Ezo Mekoman. Then he can skip, right, the passage of Hodu and recite it up to the words, right? That means he skips until Hodu and he starts until Hodu until Vivyai al Tereu. And then he skips, right, to the verse of El Nekamot Hashem, right, until Hashem Oshia Melech Ravim Kurenu. He can then skip to, right, Hashem Melech Elam Natzach V'Minot, and then Baruch Sheman. Yeah, so I'm sure you all remember this. So therefore, right, this is the way that you're supposed to skip. If he sees that after reciting the passage of Ribono Shel Olam, he has another minute or two, he should add the chapters of Ezo Mekoman to the list. Why is it so important to say these portions of Korbanot before the blessings of Rosh Hashanah? The Shachrit prayers are divided into sections corresponding to 4 supernal worlds. Yeshar Ba'olamot, 4 worlds. If someone switches the order of his prayers, he fails to properly elevate his prayers through these worlds, to have them received optimally by Hashem. If someone prays in a synagogue where the cantor mumbles through the prayers at the breakneck speed, right, it is best that he begins the prayers before the scheduled time in the congregation, and in this way he's going to be able to recite the prayers without accidentally skipping any words or syllables. One should recite the words of the prayers with great care, as if that he's represented with a jewel. Okay, I'm going to stop here. We'll start doing it. The footnotes, and then we'll continue. So one more time, Shulchan Aruch, right? By the way, you should know this is brought down in Siman Nun Bet, right? What was the Siman? So Rabbi Zimmerman, when he was here, right, he gave us Siman, right? And what did he say? No, he said it. What is it? Nisht beseder. Zelo beseder. Nisht beseder means zelo beseder. It's not good. When a person, right, that if he's not good, that he came late, basically. I would have said that Numbet is gematria be'ema, right? But that's fine. Right, which means, right? Yeah. Which one? So says the Gemara, right? Says the Halakha 60. Yeah, he says in the Shulchan Aruch, Maran ruled that if someone arrives in the synagogue and finds that the congregation is at the end of Pesukei Zimra, he should begin with Baruch Shamar, continue the portion of Pesukei Zimra Yishtabach, and continue. This ruling is based upon the Rashba. The response of Chacham Tzvi noted that the Holy Zohar states the one who recites the entire Shachrit prayer in order, as prescribed by Shekinah Tzegula. Tariza likewise also taught that each of the part of the prayers consists of the different worlds, elements, that one must not omit any of them. Nevertheless, one must realize that it is not essential to the mitzvah of the praying Shachrit. It is only recommended manner of fulfilling it. So if someone arrives late in the synagogue and not able to say the Amidah together with the congregation, if he recites everything, all the poskim agree that it is better to omit certain sections. Our sages taught us that in virtue of the praying Amidah together with the congregation overrides most other considerations. The Rambam, likewise, extolled the virtue of reciting Amidah together with the congregation. The Morutzia likewise also ruled that it is much more important to recite Amidah with the congregation than to recite all the preceding passages of the Shachrit, although many of the Mekubalim, they taught otherwise. The Yarabah said in the Magim Yesharim, reciting that the angel warned Maran sternly to always arrive early at the synagogue. Yeah, he says so that he could recite Shachrit in its entirety in the proper order. If he recited all the sections of the prayers but not the proper order, it'll be contrary to the heavenly protocol. There's heavenly protocol. Okay? Despite the ruling of these poskim, the Be'eretev testified that many devout individuals always make sure to recite the entire Shachrit prayer in order, even if it forces them to come and to recite Amidah together with the congregation. He says, Harav Yosef Chaim. That means he's going to miss it. Right? He said over here that Rav Yosef Chaim, the Ben Ish Chai and the Kav Chaim, commended this practice as well. That was also, by the way, the Or Letzion. The Or Letzion said, if it's going to be a one-off, then fine. But if it's going to be Mamasha, you always come late, better to pray by yourself as a knas. It's powerful. You're good. No. You're going to be in the Beit Knesset, but you're not going to be with the tzibur, right? That means you have to start from the beginning of the shachrit. You don't skip. Maran Rishon Etzion University, the Meore or that one must follow the instructions of Maran the Shulchan Aruch and omit the first sections of the prayer, so that you could say Amidah with the congregation. If someone practices otherwise, claiming that according to the Kabbalah this is the correct halacha, he's guilty of disobeying the sages. Yeah. Meaning that somebody wants to come in, Mekubal, I'm Luban. Yeah, he says I'm Luban. So although the Kabbalist saw that it's important to recite the entire prayer in order, that is true when it is possible, we'll still pray in the proper manner. If someone arrives late to the synagogue, whoever his primary objective is to say Amidah with the congregation. This is likewise the ruling of Imam Mordechai and the other Achronim. And Lelichot Olam Aran is showing the formula stated in the halacha here, showing which sections of Korbanot are more essential according to the Kabbalah. His source is the Shut Rav Pe'alim. Ben Ish Chaim. Okay, so this is Mevusas al Ben Ish Chaim, not Mevusas on the Shulchan Aruch. Okay, 61. You're counting jewels. The Sefer Mitzvot Katan states that one must think of the meaning of each word in the prayers. One must take great care not even to omit one word, as if each word was a jewel. The Shlach Kadosh states, make sure that you pronounce each word clearly and distinctly, otherwise it is possible to destroy the world by altering one letter. Therefore, see to it that you make no errors. Pay attention to each word as you recite, as you are counting money. Meaning when people count money, trust me, I've seen people counting money, and mamash, they'll never make a mistake. Right? They count, they do 1, 2, 3, right? מה?
אפשר להגיד בלב, לא צריך כמו שהרב אמר.
מה? לא הבנתי כלום. The only time it is permissible to postpone reciting Korbanot section of Shaharit until later in the day is when someone arrives later in the Beit Knesset in which it's still reciting Amidah together with the congregation. Since it will not be possible for him to say the prayers, including Shacharit, and reach Amidah together with the congregation, he must skip the Korbanot section and say them after Shacharit. Right? Reciting the Amidah together with the congregation is more important than saying the Korbanot. This will be explained later on in Siman 52. If someone comes late to the synagogue and skips the Korbanot section until after Shacharit, he must not recite the sections that he skipped while the cantors reads Amidah. Meaning, don't think that during Chazarat HaShatz, you can be mashlim your tefillah. Chazarat HaShatz is not a time for hashlamot. One must pay strict attention to the cantor's prayers and respond amen to each and single beracha. Yeah, 1 minute. Yeah, also, that's what we need. Even a mourner during a shiv'ah must recite the entire Korbanot section of Shachrit, including the Bazar of Kedat Yitzchak Korbanot. The chapter is Mekoman, the Bright of Rabbi Shmuel, in the same way, because he's obligated to recite them in any ordinary fashion. Have a wonderful day.